Chapter 9: Weather and Climate. The Earth is surrounded by a thin layer of air called the atmosphere. These layers heat up or cool down and interact with the top layer of the Earth's crust. This causes change in the temperature of a place. That is why we sometimes feel cool while at other times we feel hot. Weather. Weather refers to the condition of the atmosphere over a short period of time at a given place and time. It keeps on changing from time to time. In the morning, the weather condition may be cool. At noon, it may be hot, and again in the evening, it may be pleasant. Climate. Climate refers to the average weather conditions of a large area over a long period of time. It is different at different places of the world. To determine the climate of an area, the daily weather is taken into account for many years. Changes in weather conditions give rise to seasons. In India, we enjoy 5 seasons: summer, winter, monsoon, spring, and autumn. What influences climate? Many factors influence the climate of a region. Distance from the equator. The climate of a place is affected by its distance from the equator. Places close to the equator are warm because they receive more sunlight than anywhere else on the earth. The sun's rays are vertical on the equator. They spread over a small area. Hence, the equatorial regions experience hot climate. As we move away from the equator towards the pole, the sun's rays become slanting. They spread over a large area. Therefore, the polar regions experience cold climate. Altitude or height above the sea level. The altitude of a place affects its climate. The places located at lower altitude are hotter than the places at higher altitude, hilly areas. The hill stations such as Dharamshala, Kullu, Manali, Shimla, Nainital and Ooty are cool even in summers. The peaks of high mountain ranges like the Himalayas are always covered with snow. Distance from the sea. The climate of a place is also dependent on its distance from the sea. Places near the coast have a moderate climate. These places experience cool sea breeze. On the other hand, the places far away from the coast don't experience sea breeze. Therefore, they are cold in winter and hot in summer. Chennai is located along the coast. It experiences mild climate throughout the year. On the other hand, Delhi is far from the coast. Therefore, it experiences extreme hot and cold climate. Direction of winds. Wind blowing from the sea to land is called the offshore wind or sea breeze. These winds carry moisture and bring rain to the coastal areas. The wind that blows from land to sea is called the offshore wind or land breeze. The land breeze winds blowing from hot areas will be hot and dry. Similarly, if these winds are blowing from cold areas, they will be cold and dry in winter. Humidity and rainfall. Moisture or water vapor present in the air is called humidity. Humidity affects the climate of a place because it causes rainfall. Very cold places, humidity causes snowfall instead of rainfall. The humidity of the air depends on 2 factors: distance from the sea and the direction of winds. The coastal areas are more humid. Climate or heat zones. On the basis of the difference in their temperature, the earth can be divided into 3 climatic zones: the torrid zone, temperate zone, and frigid zone. These zones are also known as heat zones. Torrid zone. The area between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn is known as the torrid zone. It is also called the tropical zone. This climate zone is very hot and humid throughout the year because it receives the sun's rays directly. Some areas in this zone receive very high rainfall. Are you aware, since all the sea of the world are linked to each other, their level is the same all over the world. Hence, the height or altitude of a place is measured against the sea level. Temperate zone. The temperate zone extends from the Tropic of Cancer to the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere and from the Tropic of Capricorn to the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere. This region receives the slanting rays of the sun. Therefore, this zone is neither too hot nor too cold. Frigid zone. Frigid zone covers the regions between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole in the northern hemisphere and region between the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole in the southern hemisphere. This zone receives slanting rays of the sun. Snow covers the areas throughout the year, so the climate in this zone is extremely cold. Things I have learned. The condition of the atmosphere at a given place and time is called weather. Climate is the average weather condition that persists over a long period of time at a particular place. Some of the factors that affect climate are latitude and the angle of the sun's rays, distance from the sea, altitude, wind and humidity. The Earth is divided into 3 heat zones: the torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone.